Wow, we've arrived at the King of the Hill in Canberra. Now this house has had one epic journey and it's so good to see it at its final completion. It is a family home with so much more. This is stunning, and you know it's going to be a spectacular house when just the driveway alone is the size of a normal block.
Yeah, everything about this house has got wow from front to back, inside and out.
Yeah, starting with that front door.
That front door is pretty impressive. It was a lot of fun to build, and yeah, it matches the house. It suits everything here.
When you think about outside with all that natural stone coming up the house,
Yeah.
the New Zealand bent to the house, you know, natural timber, natural stone, honed concrete floors.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Then we get into our timber staircase going downstairs, glass lifts, wine cellar, more natural stone in this direction.
Please unfold the rest of the house for me.
Let's go and have a look.
Well, I think that when you get a big house like this, the first thing that I'm going to say is, were there challenges involved?
Well, the journey was, for this place, really interesting. We didn't start the build. There's a contractor that was working here who was a good friend of the owners, who recommended us when it got to a point where it got stuck with the existing builder that was here. Wow. So many hidden challenges to pick up a project halfway through.
You don't know what you're picking up.
We went, okay, let's have a go at this thing. It was so different for us to pick something else up from, you know, halfway through. Yeah. And we got started. And did it present challenges? Absolutely. And I've just, you know, handballed that over to Eugene. Yeah. And he aged 10 years, but did it beautifully.
Once we got on site, we had to look at everything that had been done, and unfortunately there were a couple of things that we had to go backwards before we could go forwards.
Yeah.
They weren't necessarily done poorly, we just didn't know why they'd been done the way they'd been done.
All right, so there were definitely some challenges involved, but this home has got such a beautiful lodge feel to it, doesn't it? It's got so many warm features, like that beautiful timber and the burnished concrete and the beautiful stone on the fireplace. What was the brief here?
Ray and Monica are both Kiwis,
Yes.
and they wanted that sort of South Island, New Zealand chalet feel.
Got it.
They're both hugely social people as well, so creating a communal living space for them was part and parcel of the brief.
It's so great, and the homeowners have children as well, don't they? So this is the future home, and where the children will grow up essentially.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It is such a beautiful space here. Can you unfold this gorgeous kitchen for me?
Yeah, it's a beautiful kitchen with 100mm thick manufactured stone bench tops, stainless steel splashback, the electronic cupboards, cafe window that opens inside to out. So that you can fully interact with the outside space. Even in winter, we've got heating outside so that it's
awesome.
usable all year round.
A beautiful feature as well with the wine cellar, and I love that that's at the start of the home.
Well, adults have got to interact somewhere outside of the kids. Let's do it in the wine cellar.
It's such a great feature to have at the start of the home, though. It's almost like a showpiece, isn't it?
Wine cellars are pieces of art if they're done well.
Yeah.
And that is, you know, it's quite spectacular.
Yeah.
So.
What a beautiful feature in that stone fireplace. How was that? How did that come together?
The stone fireplace was actually, fortunately for us, already in when we came on site.
Wow.
So we finished it off, we dressed around it, we got the fireplace working and the TV to sit within it how we wanted to, and then finished off the joinery, the walls and the ceiling around it to a standard that we were happy with. The ceiling was good fun for the carpenters especially.
Yes.
We had to build it down far enough to get insulation and wiring and everything into that space to achieve the values we wanted to, and still hide the curtains away in a pelmet behind them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was challenging, but it came up really well in the end.
It's quite a bold roof. Like, you know, generally your roof is white.
Yeah.
You know, and this is a beautiful timber, it's dark wood, it's pointed, it's everything that a normal roof isn't. And that's what makes it so beautiful. Okay, it's hard to top a room like this, but what else has the house got to offer?
Look, the master ensuite's pretty impressive, so maybe we should go and check that out.
Let's go, can't wait. So that master bedroom is just divine. I love how warm it is in there.
Yeah, they really got the lighting spot on in there, didn't they?
It's not just the lighting, that beautiful fluffy carpet and the tone of the walls, and again, that beautiful view, and it's just gorgeous.
Yeah, and the same rake ceiling.
And that same ceiling. Wardrobe heaven there with that walk-in robe, just so much storage.
You're walking past that beautiful bathtub to get to that wardrobe.
You were right, spot on. And that's an extra sized bathtub, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a funky bathtub. It just sits there on its own, frameless, in the middle of the room, looking out over that view. It's delightful.
Now I'm going to talk about the kids' space because it's absolutely awesome and they haven't missed any little bells and whistles.
That's their end of the house, and they've got their own bathrooms and their own rooms, obviously, and that rumpus room brings it all together.
Talking about functional, how's about that laundry?
So the laundry came about as a mum of 3 kids. I do a lot of laundry, and I really needed somewhere that I could dry my clothes in winter and get them dried quickly without having to go outside and without having to use the dryer. The house has a lot of storage already, so we didn't need more storage in the laundry. So converting what was going to be linen cupboards into just a huge drying rack, so that we could just go straight from the washing machine onto the rack and use the underfloor heating that was already in there to dry the clothes. It's my little baby. I love my laundry. The guys at Pickleman were fantastic. They really were happy to listen to what we wanted. They didn't mind me asking all my annoying questions from a non-builder's perspective, and yeah, they got it done, and it's fantastic.
The house is on quite an incline. Was there a challenge building a house on such an incline?
A little bit, yeah. There wasn't one tradesman that came here that didn't whinge about the hill, not the least of which was the landscapers who got the job of cutting into it again and again and again.
This was the worst site we've had in a long time. The incline was just massive, and just hauling everything up and down was a nightmare. But it was redeeming once we got on site and we saw things coming together. It was very rewarding for all that extra effort. A 90,000 litre tank in the front yard that was sort of plonked in there, and I had the fun job of trying to disguise it as something that was meant to be there. And we came up with a pretty good idea with Paul from Land Art. We managed to turn it into a bit of an aesthetic seating area. My favourite part here is probably the view from the kitchen. I think it's great. I think it's worked out really well. We've given a 3D effect from the back of the house rather than very plain, straightforward angles. It's pretty. You've got a big, beautiful pool. You've got all these different elements. The glass. It's an adventure. You want to go out there and step out, and you want to carry your food, your drink, and just sort of walk out there and enjoy it.
Is there a lesson to be learnt here? I know this was a bit of a unique situation where the homeowners had this dream home that they wanted to build, and it didn't come with ease.
I take my hat off to you, Jean. It was really difficult to do, but so satisfying.
I don't think anyone likes to take a job over halfway through, but in the end we're glad we took the job on. We sort of proved to ourselves that we can do that, and we ended up with an amazing product and happy clients, and we get to sit up on the hill now and look back and enjoy it.
Yes.